Most men misunderstand touch. They assume it happens by chance, driven by habit or social rules. That belief hides a deeper truth. Touch follows desire long before words appear. The human brain decides attraction silently, and the body reveals it through small, precise actions. Certain touches carry meaning, intention, and emotional weight. Among them, one specific spot stands apart. It reveals comfort, curiosity, and craving at the same time. This detail rarely appears in casual dating advice, yet psychology has studied it for decades. In this video, you will learn how attraction expresses itself through physical behavior, how the brain connects touch with emotional safety, and why one subtle gesture says more than compliments or flirting ever could. You will understand the difference between social contact and desire-driven contact. You will learn how attraction builds beneath the surface, guided by instinct rather than logic. This knowledge changes how you read interactions forever, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Most people focus on words, yet attraction lives in behavior. The nervous system reacts faster than conscious thought. When interest grows, the body seeks connection in quiet ways. Psychologists call this affiliative touch. It signals trust, openness, and a desire to stay connected longer. This behavior appears across cultures, ages, and social environments. It shows up during laughter, pauses, and moments of shared attention. It often happens without awareness, guided by the emotional brain rather than intention. Many men miss this signal because they look for dramatic gestures. Attraction rarely announces itself loudly. It whispers. The most powerful signs feel natural and effortless. That is why this specific touch carries so much meaning. It combines emotional safety with physical curiosity. It appears only when a woman feels relaxed, present, and drawn in. It reveals far more than surface-level interest. It shows a wish for closeness that feels safe and controlled. Throughout this video, you will learn how to recognize this signal, what it truly represents psychologically, and why reacting calmly matters more than reacting quickly. You will also learn why certain men experience this behavior more often. The reason has nothing to do with lines, tricks, or forced confidence. It comes from emotional steadiness, grounded presence, and self-respect. Desire responds to those traits naturally. Stay with this video until the end, because the final insight changes how attraction works entirely. It explains why desire grows stronger when pressure disappears, and why restraint often increases interest. This understanding separates men who chase attention from men who receive it effortlessly. Welcome to our channel, where psychology meets real human behavior. If you value calm confidence, emotional intelligence, and deeper understanding of attraction, subscribe now and stay with us for more insights that most people never talk about. Attraction does not begin with words. Long before conversation plays a role, the body responds at a deeper level. Human behavior is guided by systems that operate beneath awareness, and attraction is one of them. The brain processes emotional signals faster than conscious thought, which is why desire often appears before it can be explained. Physical cues emerge naturally as the nervous system reacts to comfort, interest, and emotional alignment. These reactions are subtle, yet they follow consistent psychological patterns. Women tend to express attraction in indirect ways because desire is closely tied to safety and emotional regulation. Direct statements are rare at the early stages of interest. Instead, behavior communicates what language does not. Touch becomes a primary channel because it bridges emotional distance without forcing vulnerability. It allows connection while maintaining control. This is not a learned strategy, but a biological response shaped by social conditioning and emotional awareness. The body selects movements that feel natural and low risk. Psychology explains this through subconscious signaling. Touch activates areas of the brain associated with trust and bonding. It lowers emotional barriers while preserving personal boundaries. When interest grows, the body seeks small points of connection that feel appropriate in the moment. These signals often go unnoticed by those who focus only on speech, yet they carry more meaning than compliments or flirtation. Attraction reveals itself through behavior first, guided by instinct rather than intention. The human body is wired to protect personal space. This space acts as a silent boundary that keeps others at a safe emotional and physical distance. People adjust it constantly, depending on comfort, trust, and interest. When someone allows another person to cross that boundary, it reflects an internal decision that has already taken place. Touch does not appear randomly because the body resists contact. unless the emotional environment feels right. Even brief contact requires permission from the subconscious mind. When a woman reaches out and touches you, her brain has already processed a series of signals. It has assessed safety, familiarity, and emotional resonance. This evaluation happens automatically, guided by instinct rather than reasoning. The emotional brain reacts faster than conscious thought, sending signals to the body before logic can intervene. Words come later, often as justification rather than cause. Behavior reveals what the mind has already accepted. Touch emerges as a quiet expression of that acceptance. It bypasses hesitation and social filters because it feels natural in the moment. The movement may appear casual, yet it reflects comfort and internal alignment. This is why touch carries meaning even when nothing is said. The body speaks first, long before the conscious mind attempts to explain what it is feeling. Not every touch carries the same meaning. Some forms of contact exist to maintain politeness, social harmony, or shared courtesy. A brief tap during conversation or a light gesture in a public setting often serves a social purpose rather than an emotional one. These actions follow learned behavior and cultural norms. They help interactions feel smooth without revealing personal interest. The body knows the difference even when the movement looks similar on the surface. There is, however, one specific area where touch carries a different weight. Contact in this place reflects emotional safety, layered with quiet desire. It appears only when comfort has already been established and when the person feels at ease staying close. This touch does not seek attention or approval. It emerges naturally, guided by instinct rather than intention. The nervous system chooses it because it feels reassuring and controlled at the same time. This behavior reflects a deeper level of connection. It suggests trust, curiosity, and a willingness to reduce emotional distance without creating pressure. The body moves toward what feels secure and familiar. When attraction grows, it expresses itself through subtle choices that feel effortless. This is why this particular touch stands apart. It is not performed, it is felt, directed by instinct and emotional alignment rather than conscious planning. This specific area of touch holds psychological significance because it is closely associated with comfort and trust. The body chooses it when emotional tension has eased and connection feels stable. Contact here creates a sense of closeness without intensity, allowing attraction to grow in a controlled and natural way. It reduces emotional distance while maintaining personal balance. The nervous system responds by reinforcing feelings of safety, which encourages the interaction to continue rather than retreat. This form of touch signals curiosity in a quiet manner. It reflects interest that seeks presence rather than immediate response. The gesture often appears during moments of shared focus, when conversation flows easily or silence feels comfortable. It shows a desire to remain engaged, to extend the interaction without verbal confirmation. The body communicates what words often delay. Psychology refers to this behavior as affiliative touch because it supports bonding and emotional connection. It strengthens social ties while keeping vulnerability at a manageable level. This touch invites closeness without pressure, signaling a willingness to stay connected longer. It emerges from instinctive processes shaped by trust, familiarity, and emotional alignment. The behavior feels natural because it aligns with how the brain associates touch with reassurance and relational stability. When she touches this area, it reflects a state of ease and emotional comfort. Her body feels calm in your presence, and that calm allows desire to surface quietly. This behavior shows that she feels safe enough to reduce distance without tension. The touch serves as a subtle way to draw your focus toward her, inviting awareness rather than demanding it. Attention is requested through behavior instead of words. This moment often carries a sense of exploration. She is gauging how close the connection feels and whether that closeness holds steady. The gesture allows her to sense your emotional stability. Your reaction matters because it communicates confidence or uncertainty at a subconscious level. A steady response encourages the interaction to remain smooth and grounded. The body seeks reassurance through small exchanges like this. Desire often expands in quiet spaces. Silence allows feelings to breathe and develop without pressure. Touch becomes the language that fills that space. It creates a shared moment that feels personal yet controlled. This interaction unfolds slowly, guided by instinct rather than planning. The absence of urgency gives attraction room to deepen. In these subtle exchanges, interest strengthens through presence, patience, and emotional balance rather than overt action. Many men react too quickly when they sense interest. The moment a subtle touch appears, they rush to assign meaning, assuming it demands an immediate response. This urgency often comes from excitement mixed with uncertainty. Instead of allowing the interaction to unfold naturally, they jump ahead emotionally. Others go in the opposite direction and overanalyze every detail, turning a simple gesture into a complex theory. Both reactions pull attention away from the present moment and disrupt the emotional flow. Another common mistake is forcing escalation. Some men believe attraction must be acted on instantly or it will disappear. This belief creates pressure, and pressure changes the emotional atmosphere. What once felt light and natural begins to feel heavy. The body senses this shift immediately. When tension enters the space, comfort fades. Attraction relies on ease, not intensity. Calm presence plays a larger role than visible confidence. Confidence without emotional control can feel unstable. Calm signals safety and self-assurance at a deeper level. When a man remains grounded, he allows attraction to stay alive on its own terms. The interaction remains balanced, and the subtle connection continues without disruption. Emotional steadiness keeps desire from collapsing under unnecessary force. The most effective response begins with staying grounded in the moment. Grounded behavior communicates emotional balance and inner security. When a man remains present and composed, the interaction retains its natural rhythm. There is no need to chase the moment or attempt to capture it. Desire develops through continuity, not urgency. Allowing the interaction to breathe keeps the emotional tone light and comfortable. Letting her remain in control of the pace supports a sense of safety. When pressure is absent, interest has space to expand on its own. The body responds positively to environments that feel predictable and calm. Rushing disrupts that stability and introduces tension. Emotional safety encourages openness, and openness allows attraction to deepen gradually. This response reflects an understanding of how attraction works beneath the surface. It honors the unspoken communication taking place. Calm reactions signal respect for boundaries and awareness of emotional timing. The interaction stays balanced because neither side feels pushed forward. Desire grows strongest when it feels chosen rather than demanded. Emotional ease sustains connection and keeps the moment alive without strain or force. This type of touch appears more often around certain men because of the emotional environment they create. Men who do not seek validation project stability. Their behavior does not depend on approval or reassurance. This independence creates a sense of ease that others can feel. Emotional steadiness signals reliability at a subconscious level. The body responds to that consistency by relaxing and moving closer. Men who listen more than they speak allow space for connection. Tension becomes focused rather than performative. When someone feels heard, emotional tension lowers naturally. This openness invites subtle forms of closeness without effort. The interaction feels balanced because it is not driven by the need to impress. Presence replaces performance. Desire follows emotional presence because the nervous system responds to calm awareness. Tactics attempt to control outcomes, but presence allows connection to develop organically. When a man remains engaged without forcing direction, attraction emerges quietly. His grounded energy encourages trust and curiosity. The body senses alignment and responds through instinctive behavior. This is why certain men experience these signals more frequently. Their emotional state creates the conditions where attraction feels safe, natural, and unforced. Attraction reveals itself as a response rather than an invitation to act. Touch emerges after interest has already formed, shaped by comfort and emotional alignment. It reflects what is happening internally rather than directing what should happen next. When a man does not rely on that response for validation, it appears naturally. His behavior remains steady because his sense of worth does not depend on external signals. This emotional independence creates space for attraction to surface without resistance. The dynamic shifts when touch becomes something to pursue or secure. Chasing introduces need, and need alters the emotional balance. The body reacts to this change immediately. Comfort tightens, curiosity fades, and distance returns. Attraction responds to emotional freedom, not pressure. It grows when there is no urgency attached to its presence. The nervous system favors calm environments where choice feels intact. This creates a paradox that confuses many people. Letting go of expectation often produces the very response that effort tries to force. Desire moves towards stability and away from demand. The absence of attachment allows connection to remain fluid. Touch appears as a byproduct of emotional ease, guided by instinct rather than pursuit. The interaction stays alive because it feels natural, unclaimed, and free to unfold at its own pace. Attraction rarely announces itself loudly. It shows up in small moments, in subtle behavior, in shared comfort that feels effortless. Touch becomes one of the quiet ways interest reveals itself, guided by emotional safety rather than intention. These signals are easy to miss when attention is fixed on outcomes. They are easier to recognize when the mind stays calm and present. The man who notices without reacting allows attraction to remain natural. He does not rush it, label it, or try to control it. He lets the moment exist as it is. That restraint creates strength. Comfort deepens when pressure stays absent. Connection grows when space is respected. This awareness shifts how attraction is experienced, turning it into something felt rather than chased. If this perspective resonated with you, take a moment to like this video. It helps the channel reach more people who value clarity over noise. Subscribe to our channel for more calm, psychology-based insights into attraction, confidence, and emotional intelligence. Stay grounded, and we will see you in the next video.